What's up, everybody? I'm Dave.
And I'm Michael.
And we're the Downgrade Arcade. And we have had a little bit of an upgrade.
You might have noticed that we're now in a room that's literally full to the brim with nonsense. And we're going to teach you all about it in this brand new revamped show.
It's a reboot, mate. A lot like Rob Zombie's Halloween. It's going to be fantastic on paper, but once you watch it, you'll get half an hour in and realise it's just a bunch of idiots swearing at each other. So that's fantastic, mate. What have we got in the show today, mate? What are we going to be focusing on, first of all?
Let me tell you, we're going to give you a rundown on everything that he knows about the Sega Saturn. That's right, we've got the console to show you. We're going to take you inside the bastard, alright? We're going to show you some of the best games, and the best part of all, we're going to show you some of the ridiculous accessories that come with it.
We've got Keith Mawam, who's come out of hibernation from his garden shed with a load of fantastic toys to show us that might not actually be so fantastic, but he's going to show them to you on his special shopping segment, Keith VC.
After that, me and you are going head to head in our first challenge.
Head to head in the first challenge.
Absolutely, AV Nightmares, where we're going to get our glamorous assistants in and they're going to have to try and plug in something ridiculous into something else ridiculous with no eyes, mate.
And us shouting instructions really loudly and irritatingly at them, just like the Crystal Maze.
What they don't know.
Left! Left! Oh, twat.
Left!
Left!
So don't go anywhere. Alright, stick around and we'll see you soon.
There's a drowsy around here somewhere.
Yes, mate.
What's your mum cooking for tea, mate?
Nothing, mate.
Oh, mate.
这个咋算是了？ セガサターンしろ。
音速ハリネズミソニックのレースゲームソニック R。
セガサターン。
Okay, mate. This is pretty much the Sega Saturn that everyone loves. This is pretty much the Sega Saturn that everyone knows. Now, the history of this is pretty fucking sad, mate, to be honest. Okay. It's all about Sega's inability to talk to each other over two different countries, mate. Sega of Japan said, right, let's bosh out this new console. It's going to be fantastic. PlayStation's on the way. Let's just get it out there. Sega America's like, nah, fam. The Mega Drive's doing absolutely fantastic over here. What you want to do is, you want to put a little bit of the Sega Saturn in a mushroom, stick it on top of the Mega Drive, which people here have already got, mate. Yeah, don't say the name, mate. It's like Voldemort. You can't say it, mate. You can't say 32. Oh, sorry, mate. I can't do it again. Yes, mate. So people in America were like, alright, so what is it you want me to buy, Sonic? Sonic, talk to
Sonic,
me.
please.
Sonic, what are you wanting me to buy? Because Mario's got something in the pipeline. What have you got for me apart from this mushroom? And it turns out they had that, mate.
This thing.
Before that's even out of the gate, everything's going massively wrong. So what happened when it did come out of the gate? It went even more wrong, mate. It was like a bull with no head, mate, and its shoelaces tied together. And it was like, go, and it just fucking
It
nosedived.
just fucking fell on its no head.
On its no head.
That was
It
that,
neckdived, mate. It was terrible. So, at E3 1995, I think, CEO of Sega America walks on stage. He's like, "What's up, motherfuckers?" Trying to give it the big bollocks, you know what I mean? But then he says, "Oh, by the way, you think it's coming out in 4 months at $399.99? No, mate, it's out in the shops right now." At which point Toys R Us are like, what the fuck is he talking about? What is he talking about? It's summer. No one buys games consoles in summer. What is going on here? Game devs hated it because they were sat there like, hang on a minute, the game's not finished yet. I mean, it's out now. Fuck. It ships with Virtua Fighter, which wasn't finished, and Daytona, which wasn't finished. We'll talk about that in a bit, when they got basically the finished games then re-released. Now, I say that the Saturn did okay domestically in Japan. I mean, it was doing okay. But of course, by the time it was on its last legs, it had a 12% market share, mate. And as we know, the number 12 is synonymous with dog shit. So, after the disastrous downfall after E3 and all them terrible sales and all them bad games that came out and all them bad ports that came out, not looking too great. So they sacked the guy, CEO of Sega America, and hired a guy that had just left Sony.
Oh, see, that sounds like a smart business move to me.
Surely he knows what he's doing.
You think so?
And then at an interview, what I believe was E3 97, can't be sure on the date right there, it might have been 98, not entirely sure. He said, well, the Sega Saturn's not really our future.
This isn't your future, brilliant. When's the next thing coming out?
Alright, well, we're going to release an add-on for the Sega Saturn, which is half of then the thing that's next coming out, and then we're going to release a brand new thing 2 weeks after that comes out. That's the
Banter!
Hashtag fuck off Sonic.
We brought you over here to the amazing Sega section of the studio to show you some of the best games on the heap of rubbishness.
We're going to go strong with Panzer Dragoon 1 and 2. These are basically 2 rail shooter games
Okay.
where you're riding on the back of a dragon with a laser gun and a homing missile. But the devs have come out recently and said that, okay, yeah, we knew that the Sega Saturn didn't have very good coding language. We had to basically just make something up on the spot. So what we had to do was we had to make it overly artistic and pretty and quite expressionist looking, because that's all we could do. And because of that, they've made something that's quite beautiful looking.
Just like students making a music video, mate.
Yes, mate. Daytona USA Championship Circuit Edition. That is a fucking mouthful, mate. As I mentioned earlier, mate, there was a few games that came out for the Saturn that were a little bit shite because they weren't finished because they had to come out 4 months early. Oh yeah, you're going to be a launch title. Yeah, cool. Okay, the launch is tomorrow.
Excellent.
Brilliant, yes. So behind it, we have Daytona USA, which is the one that came out on a day 1 release. Now the Virtua Fighter series, here you see the Japanese edition. That's a very tidy little case going in there. I can feel of that.
Is this how the Japanese did the cases?
Yes, mate. Well, again, release title, mate. And again, it had a revised edition. I think it was called Fighters Digital Mecha Showdown Tokyo Remix or some shit like that. Yeah, that is also a top game. Virtua Fighter 2, I would say, is even better, mate. And it's kind of like one of the first fighters with polygon graphics.
Ooh.
So it's ugly as sin. And they tried to do it on the 32X, and that was, I mean, if you can get uglier than sin, I don't know, what's uglier than sin?
The devil's dick.
Tomb Raider, mate.
Excellent.
That was a Sega Saturn original, mate. Not originally out on a PlayStation.
So you could only buy it on the Sega Saturn?
Well, it came out on the Saturn first, and then PlayStation said, do you want to do that on PlayStation? No, I'm not really interested. You sure about that? Because there's some money. Alright, the next game we're going to talk about is one that we don't own or have in store because it's probably about 300 quid. And even the Japanese version is about 100 quid or something ridiculous like that. We're talking, of course, about Radiant Silvergun. A top-down vertical shooter, mate. And it is fucking majestic, mate. It opens with like 10 minutes of cutscenes with people just shouting at each other. Nando! Put that over anything. Nando! And it'll be fine, mate. Literally, it will look like part of the thing. But it is a quality game. The graphics are absolutely fantastic. Obviously, it's graphical limitations of the system aside.
And is that a Saturn exclusive, mate?
Yes, it is, mate. Yes, mate. Yes, mate. Yes, mate.
Well, there's got to be one, isn't there? Speaking of which, mate, what's next?
It's not a Sega Saturn exclusive, mate.
Excellent, mate. Expected nothing less.
Castlevania Symphony of the Night. It is as fantastic as it is on a PlayStation, mate. And it's probably about 150 quid cheaper, so there you go.
What, on the Saturn?
Yes,
on
mate.
the PlayStation?
I think so, yeah, mate. But it is great. It's all the good things about Castlevania with a healthy dose of Metroid, with some light RPG elements, mate.
Only light, though, mate.
Only light, mate. Only
Alright,
light.
that's fine.
I mean, you're in Dracula's castle, you play Dracula's son, I do believe. The only downside is, when you die, there's a load screen. That's there for about 30 seconds with dramatic music.
Ooh, lovely.
Load screen back to the main menu. Then you got to load your save again. And then you got to load that new game. And the whole process of dying takes you about 2.5 minutes. So that's not the most rewarding thing ever. I mean, I had it on PSP and I just fucking binned it. Got a new PSP, mate. Can't handle it.
Through the whole console in the bin. Not interested. Tainted, mate. Tainted.
Not bothered. Not bothered.
Not dog, mate. So I think what we've learned here today is that if you're getting a Saturn and you want some nice affordable games, basically just buy a PlayStation.
Alright, everyone. It's now time to chat some tech, mate.
Ooh, mate, bit of technology.
Okay, first of all, you notice it's got a CD thing on it. Fantastic. But you also notice it's got a cartridge input, mate. Yes, mate.
Well, I mean, in
So
a
it's backwards
world
compatible.
in a world where you're still pushing the 32X down people's throats. It's the idea of it playing 32X games as well.
Well, no, Sega Mega Drive games, mate, not 32X.
Not
In terms of internal architecture, mate, it's got 2 main processing units.
2.
2, mate. No, mate. 2 processing units, 8 processors. It's 1994. No one knows what the fuck to do with that. Obviously, we've got 3 different versions here. There's also one that is manufactured by Hitachi, mate. And this one comes with in-car navigation, mate.
Are you serious?
Yes, mate.
This isn't just a joke.
With an LCD screen that you can bob on top of it.
So it doubled up as a sat nav. So just in case there were no.
Sat nav, mate.
Alright, having a look at these boxes, I'm going to assume that this here is the standard kind of official Saturn controller.
Yes, mate. That is. I'll be honest with you. That's a slightly revised version.
Now I must say, actually, to hold this is quite pleasant.
It is a very nice controller.
I could see myself actually enjoying playing some games on this. The D-pad is nice and directional. Buttons are nice and this one, a little bit more ridiculous, mate. Just a touch.
Now, if you dig not that deep, mate, and you get yourself into the very dark world of third-party Saturn controllers, you end up with a Mad Cat situation. And you can immediately tell that that is not as comfortable.
No, straight away, I'm feeling angry. I'm already upset.
Not having fun here, mate.
I've only just sat down. There are no less than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 unnecessary switches on this, mate. There's one above every single button. And then finally, to round it all off, mate.
The best controller you can get for the Sega Saturn.
Yes, mate.
Shit, you're not, mate. This is actually not a joke that I was saying there.
Really?
Yeah, mate. This is the Knights controller.
Ooh.
Now, Knights is a very interesting game in that it uses a lot of 3D perspective.
Okay.
And a lot of it is kind of like moving your character around rings, again, like Sonic. And they brought this out because that is basically how you need to play the game. Is it comfy?
I must say it is actually very comfortable, mate.
But you can see where the idea for the Dreamcast controller came from.
You can.
It's a modification of that.
I think there's only one more left, mate.
There's only one more left,
And
mate.
we're going to pass that on over for our little segment on Keith VC. All right?
Keith VC, he's come out of his shed once more, ladies and
One
gentlemen.
more time, he's here for your selling amusement and entertainment. He's going to let you have a go. Let you experience the driving croissant.
Compton, motherfucker! Eastside! Can't touch my steel, Keep DC! These play the station with no grasp on the tech. Too many squares in your circle. I triangle your X. I'm 100 like centuries. Goes left on my left, see the tech squeeze and crash your windows like XP. When you flash cash, pistol flash back like Atari. I splash cash, bitches F1 like Ferrari. Super cassette vision, I'm third generation. You Commodores are common horse with thick penetration.
Keep my law, motherfuckers! That's right, he's gonna sell you some shit, so sit down and shut the fuck up!
At the real OG, man, you gotta buy that shit.
I come at you with a tech! Hello and welcome to Keith VC, and my name's Keith. We are here to sell you some fantastic products, and I hope you've all got the number to phone. Right, this is our main item of the day. It's a Sega Games Control. It is made out of the same material that NASA uses for Apollo 11. The controls are uniquely placed, as opposed to the first one that was brought out. The start button was put underneath. Now the price to you is £242. £242. You go into any store, you will see it for £400. This is an amazing bargain. It's virtually half price. Let me tell you now that we only have a dozen left. They are really going well. The click on off. No, it's not working. Oh, yeah. Sorry, it is. Yeah, it's. They've just told me. We're down to 2 now. Down to 2. Get on the phone. Get it bought. We have how many? Yeah, we're sold half the stock now. We're down to 250. Is it? Yeah, 250. We're down to. Let me just go around here. Yeah, it's actually made in Korea. Then blow that up. Yeah, okay. No, oh no, that was South Korea that blew up. Or was it North Korea? I'm not too sure which. Right, we're dropping the price down to $49.99. That's 49, that right? $49.99, going down. You really must get on that phone. There again, the number is coming up now. Phone that number. Phone it now. Do it now. Sorry, I've just been told. Yeah. We've now got 10 left. With 10 left. We started off at 5,500, was it? Yeah, 5,500. We're down to 10. They are selling like hotcakes. I'm just getting it through now. We've 3 left. And we're dropping the price down. Yeah, sorry then. We're dropping the price down to $199. That's a reduction from £249. Sorry guys, they've all gone. Thank you for shopping at Keith VC.
Thanks, Keith. That was really disappointing. More disappointing than Christmas of 1993 when I didn't get a Mega Drive and I got a Sistema TV Boy Atari clone from my mum and dad. Thanks, mum and dad. I got the shit kicked out of me at school for that. But what have we got coming up next, mate?
Oh, well, we've brought in some of our bestest glamorous assistants, and we're going to be berating them while they try and do something that's basically not possible. I literally can't wait, mate. I can't wait to break some friendships.
I can't wait.
Stay right where you are.
Hello everybody and welcome to our first episode of AV Nightmares.
That's right, this is our first in our challenge series, and today we've enlisted the help of our very glamorous assistants. Who have you got, David?
Jameer Amberkhan.
And this is Annabelle Christchurch, alright? And we're going to be sending them on a very special mission for your amusement, alright?
Do you want to tell you what we've got here, Mike?
I would love to see what I've got in front of me, mate.
Okay, mate. We have not got the Sega Saturn, as would be contextually appropriate for this episode, because we've only got 2 in the shop. And frankly, if we fucking break them, I'm in a lot of trouble. However, we have got a Sega Mega Drive 2 here, because we've got about 50 billion of them.
I've got 12 in my attic, mate.
You've got 12 in your attic, mate.
You've got at
we
least
also
18,
have 19 copies of Sonic Spinball, so if one of them gets broken, it is not the end of the world. Alright, so
we've given them all of the components that they need to get their cartridge up and running.
SCART adapter's buried somewhere.
Buried somewhere in that hat.
In Keith Mawam's hat.
Exactly. The real kicker is that we're going to blindfold these 2 lovely people, and me and Dave are going to shout at them instructions so that they don't get completely lost while they're trying to do this.
Just like the TV show Nightmare.
Just like that, mate. I've never seen that, but I'm sure it's just like that.
It is good.
All right. So while we're wrapping you up, do you want to just let us know how you're feeling about this, Anna?
Pretty nervous. It's been a while since I've messed with any AV
Since you've been
cables.
blindfolded.
I'm that as well, yeah.
Alright, mate, can you see? No cheating, though.
No.
Fantastic little addition to the challenge. The TVs aren't even plugged in yet. The electricity, dangerously enough, is down on the floor, mate. So if you're watching at home, which you probably will be, as opposed to a cinema or some kind of internment camp, then definitely, I mean,
yeah, just keep your eyes peeled. This is going to be real special.
This is real special, and obviously don't try this at home like the wrestling, because, you know, all the wrestlers did get electrocuted at one point.
Alright, so we're going to go in 3, 2, 1. Okay, and start. Okay, so
All right,
right in
Jamie.
front of you.
All right,
right in
Jamie.
front of you.
Open. You see that case? You got that there?
No, I can't see shit.
No, go over the top of the TV.
No, right, grab the TV in front of you, mate.
Yeah.
Okay, no, over the top of the TV.
Yeah, down
Over the
there.
top, now
Excellent.
down the front
Yes,
of the TV.
Anna, absolutely
Right, grab the
storming
plug.
ahead here.
Grab the plug.
Storming ahead. Here's the
Down
right
to
way.
the floor,
Yeah,
down to the floor.
Perfect.
Now smack her in the
What the fuck is
Get Jamie out of your way. He's in your way.
knock him the fuck out.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, you've done it. Okay, I hear it.
There we go.
Okay, so first we're going for the hat.
Okay, right. Now reach to the right and you'll find a Mega Drive.
You're around in the hat, one of the start.
Okay, perfect. Rotate it right,
Yes,
90
perfect.
degrees.
Okay, put the hat back down. Actually, no, put the hat on this side.
Perfect. Okay, now the cable on top of it. Pick up
Put it
the
on
cable.
top of the TV. Perfect.
Okay, now grab- you
Perfect.
cheating
There's a cable there.
bastards.
There's a cable just there. You know the ones?
that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you
No, that's the Game Boy cartridge.
That's what we like to see.
There we go. Yes.
Excellent work.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so you're currently holding yellow. So
Okay.
yellow goes on the
Okay.
far right of the connector.
Now can you
That's what
far
you
way up.
Yes.
Scott?
So
Okay,
that goes in
left.
there.
Down a bit.
Okay, pick another one.
There you go. It's the big long one.
Pick another one.
Okay, now move
now we're
forward
gonna try and plug it
and
into
use
the
your
back
other hand
of
to
the
guide it into
Lean
the
over.
socket.
What?
Go on, bend over for me.
Where?
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, it's underneath the big block.
Nearly there.
No, flip it.
It's in. It's in. Perfect.
Like that,
Okay, now
perfect,
follow the
perfect.
cable down with
Jamie's
your
already
hand.
got his scar in. We're losing.
No!
We're losing.
Follow the cable down with your hand.
Perfect. Higher.
Keep going. Now scan along. There's 2 holes in the back of it. Okay, that's the perfect hole there. Yeah.
Yeah, that looks good. Turn it
Take
and
right.
again.
Okay, stop.
No.
Stop. Left.
Turn it right.
Stop.
Turn it right.
Left
And
tiny
right again.
switch.
Okay, now
Yeah,
put that
push.
down on the front of the TV. So forward a little bit.
That feel
onto
right
the
now.
flat bit.
Oh, wait.
Before you just go shoving this in.
Nearly. Okay,
show it to me.
rotate
The cable.
right.
The cable. Okay.
Rotate left. Sorry.
Oh god.
This bit is so hard, mate.
Okay, that's good. Okay, that looks good. Okay, now we
mate.
kind of just gotta force it.
Really?
Yeah, just give it. So hold it Mega Drive from the front.
Okay, rotate.
Yes. Excellent.
Try and just get it.
It's upside down.
Yes.
Flip it over.
Yes.
Okay, put it down.
Yeah, I feel good about this.
Okay, pick up the cable in front of you.
Oh my god.
Yes. Okay, I feel good.
It doesn't
I feel good about it.
Okay, now
I feel good about it, Anna.
Fucking hell.
Okay, so it's next to the one you just plugged in.
Seriously? Yeah. Is it not in? Oh my god.
There?
Yep.
That one? Wait.
No,
Okay, now
it's not
trail that
working yet.
cable
It's
to
not working yet.
Right, okay.
the other end.
This is the hardest bit, and they've beaten us.
Other way.
James only got to plug it in now. Okay, wait.
Other way.
Line it up a little bit straighter, you can.
There we go. Beautiful.
Yeah,
Okay, big button on the left.
Man, right.
Yep, that's on. No, it's
I
not
can't,
again.
I can't do it.
Yep, it's on. Okay, done. Right, switch.
All right, now to the left. Okay, we've
Yeah.
got to speed up the pace now. So
Yeah,
to
yeah.
the left of it, you can
Okay,
find like a
take it out.
plug, like a standard plug.
I've left of what?
The TV. Sorry.
Oh.
Down here. Okay, forward.
Okay,
Go
move your
forward.
hand.
There you go. Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Yep. Okay.
We can still do this, Anna. We can still do this. We can still do this. All right, plug that in down there.
Nice and snug
Oh, yeah.
inside.
Sure.
Okay, there's
Forward.
okay, that note. Yeah, unplug Jamie. Unplug him. Unplug Jamie. Unplug Jamie.
No!
Yes.
That's a penalty, sure.
Plug it in. Plug it in. Plug it in. Plug it in. Yes. Good. Find the other end.
Look at
Here we go.
That's good. You're good.
Yeah,
Plug it,
follow
plug
it to the other end of the
So
cable.
that goes into the other one, but this is just a nice circle, so that should be easy enough. Yeah.
this side.
Nice one, mate. Follow it round.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, now
other end, mate.
bring that off the top of the TV. That was a terrible idea of mine. It's
That's
like
two
a
player,
trapeze,
two
or you've got
player.
it the right way around.
Go to one
Good.
player.
That one?
Yeah. Good. So,
Bring it
I
in
know the
there.
other one. Sorry.
Perfect, okay.
So there you go.
Put your hand on
Perfect.
top of the Mega
Plug it in there. Plug it in there.
Is it going?
Yeah,
Right.
That's good.
got two buttons.
Shove it. Cartridge is on the
Okay,
right
it
hand
is on.
side.
Okay, so I
Pull it
need you
out.
to push
Good
the...
yank.
Oh no, it's not on.
Do you know where the cartridges go on a Mega Drive, yeah?
Right.
Okay, so it's there. Where your
it's
hand is
on.
there.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so
Okay.
yeah,
Down?
that's the right
Push
way.
the button next to the
Yeah.
power
Okay,
button.
now push down. Reach round that side of the TV.
Which side?
The one you're on.
Okay, move left again.
Now pass that.
Oh, no,
okay.
move left. One
Okay,
more.
so you see, not that one. So
that.
one button to the right. Next button.
Yeah.
Next button.
Stop.
Next button. Press it.
Wait.
Press it again. Press it again.
Fuck!
Press it again.
Okay, alright, keep pushing that.
No, press it again.
Selector.
Okay, what the fuck has happened here?
Oh,
All right.
for fuck's sake.
Time to start messing around with the thing.
Okay.
Press the reset button on the console.
Oh Jesus, where's that?
Keep pushing.
It's that one.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Again.
go down a little bit.
Fine.
Down a little bit.
Yeah, leave it. Okay, button's
yeah,
done.
press that power off, and then press it power on again. Back to the TV. Okay,
again.
find that button that we were just
Other
pressing.
side.
So keep going far. It's
Yeah.
that one. Back that one.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Press it.
no.
Yes! 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 I can't believe we did it! We were losing for a while. We were losing for a while. Oh, Jesus Christ.
That was so close. Alright, let's see how we did over here, mate. Let's see how we did.
You were pretty close. We were on the right one. It's working now.
Cartridge just needed blowing.
Oh no! The age-old problem. Well, that was a good game, mate.
That was pretty tight, mate.
That was
fucking good.
That was good. We hope we've enjoyed it, stuff.
Never using you again, Jameer.
That was brilliant.
You were pretty good though, mate. I'm having a good
Not as
time.
good as my Annabelle Christchurch, though.
Alright
winning
then.
team.
Alright, get a fucking room.
Well, fuck me, mate. That was probably amazing, wasn't
That
it?
was pretty fantastic, possibly. Who knew that was going to happen and that person, you or me, would win? I didn't even know that.
It's always funny when a chain of events leads up to hilarious things that clearly happened there, mate.
Yes, mate, chronology is a beautiful thing.
Alright, so to play us out, we've got our favourite salesman, Keith Mauam. He's going to be driving that croissant, mate. Driving it down the boulevard towards the Eiffel Tower or whatever they do in France. It's going to be incredible, mate.
3 laps. Start your engines, mate.
There we go. Eh? There's nothing happening. Oh yeah! I've gone and crashed it. It's got a broken bit at the front. Well, what the hell's this bloody checkpoint? So what percent? So where's the dinosaurs? I know I've gone the wrong way. I don't know how to reverse. No. Yeah. Somebody phone Chris Evans. Oh shit. I'm trying. Yeah, I am turning round. If I knew where reverse was, I'd use reverse. It doesn't say reverse on here. It stopped. 20th.
You placed 20th.
Yeah, but how many was there?
20, mate.
Oh.